Welcome back to focusing on the solution of your relationship problems, which is outgrowing codependency. So codependency keeps us trapped within old patterns. It keeps us trapped within feeling bad about ourselves, being disconnected from our feelings, needs, desires, our sense of worthiness and lovability. And all of that is about to change when you commit to outgrowing codependency. And the program I've developed relies on 5 stages. And I will explain to you exactly what it is you'd have to do to outgrow codependency and to make space for a life of epic love and an ultimate success in your relationship and career or business. Okay, so the first thing that I teach, the first element in outgrow codependency is about creating a healthier, more secure and more loving relationship with yourself. That is the core foundation. So in therapy, that can take, quite a long time, but it is something that I teach and then infuse everything else with on a continuous basis, so it becomes your new normal. Anything I share and teach and do is practical, logical and relevant to the lives we live, our modern lives. So I'm a mum of 4. I don't have time to meditate 4 hours a day, have 3 bubble baths and go out and have this wild and crazy life. I've found a way of healing and growing and developing myself in a way that works around my responsibilities and around the people that I love. So outgrowing codependency does not mean that you have to do anything weird. You have to eliminate loads of people from your life. You have to change everything. It means you have to add something magical to it. And that is yourself, your true self, and a healthy relationship with yourself. That is the most important thing. So what does that mean? Right? That's the journey I guide you through in either the program, Outgrow Codependency, or in my one-to-one service, in my one-to-one work with clients. And it's about noticing how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, how you deny things to yourself, how you might be overly hard and critical, self-critical, harsh, perfectionistic, how you might sacrifice what you want to give others what they want, that kind of stuff. And then to see that that's not the healthiest way to go about creating a balanced and equal and reciprocal and mutually loving relationship. Because if you come from that kind of perspective that being in a relationship and love requires you to sacrifice yourself, what you will attract is a perfect match to that. And that's not someone who will sacrifice to, that is someone who will take. So you will give and they will take. And that's the perfect match, because that's what creates balance, right? And that's what allows you to connect on this unhealthy and unloving level that doesn't work in your favor. Okay, so we address the relationship you have with yourself. We'll improve it. I teach you how to have a healthy relationship with yourself, how to make that concept real, right? How you translate it into real life with our real problems and real challenges, to make it practical so you can see it, experiment every day, progress every day, until you become this sense of security, lovability and worth. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at are different patterns. So in your life, become aware of what patterns keep repeating themselves. What's the outcome that you're unhappy with, and what are the choices you made? Because that's what this is all about. It's about creating this internal focus, focusing on yourself, so you can see that there are choices you make because they fit into this pattern that was taught to you as a child, that lead to the adult consequences you don't want to have anymore. Okay, so we're going to interrupt that pattern, make it really practical and relevant in your life. And that is work not many people know how to do. So when you go and see generic counselors, they can validate your feelings and they can give you empathy and compassion, but very often they don't know how to interrupt patterns, because that's not necessarily something that they're aware of. And these trauma-informed patterns are very unconscious. They feel very normal to us. They keep repeating themselves over and over again, and we're kind of trapped in them. So outgrowing codependency so that you can have amazing relationships and self-confidence is about identifying the patterns, connecting the dots, so you can interrupt them, and then find healthier ways of meeting the need for safety, security, you know, soothing any anxieties. That will allow you to feel really good and experience different outcomes, much more positive outcomes, a lot of success, okay, in all areas of your life. So it's about interrupting patterns. And then it's about learning to want to take care of yourself. And we call this self-reparenting. In therapy, I guess that's what I call it. It's about bonding with yourself, learning to deal with insecure thoughts, self-critical thoughts, turning your inner critic to like a coach, reclaiming all the parts of you that you had to leave behind because it wasn't allowed when you were younger, for example, or someone shamed it, or you were bullied at school. It's about getting them all back in, so you have this sense of I'm complete. Okay. We're also going to look at how to create healthy relationships. So we'll have a look at what's healthy and what isn't, so that you're very clear on it. And if you are faced with a situation where you're like, well, I don't know if this is healthy or not, that you will know. Like, I will tell you the facts. You will also connect with yourself on that level, so that you can assess whether it's good for you, whether it is what you want or not, and then make that decision based on that. So it's all about strengthening your internal focus, reclaiming the parts of you, learning what is healthy and what isn't healthy, so that you can leave behind the patterns that keep you trapped in unhealthy, one-sided relationships with people who are selfish, emotionally unavailable, disconnected, who don't want to commit to you, who are like on and off, insecure, who have massive problems, and you just cannot get the love that you really want or need in your life. So we're going to set an end to this, stop it, so that you can make space for new things to form, new patterns, a healthier relationship with yourself, true love that doesn't require you to sacrifice yourself, to exhaust yourself, to be all drained, to just have a different experience of life. Because sometimes we get stuck with this emotional burden of, well, this is just what it's like for me. And I can guarantee you from my personal experience that is something you can leave behind too. You can leave that emotional home that you only internalize because of the circumstances at the time. There's a different experience to be had. There is an opportunity for a new beginning, right? Healing is the starting point of that. And taking those kinds of steps every day, little small steps, they add up quickly and they lead to massive improvements. And that is something that I would really like for you to experience too. I did it. Hundreds of my clients have done it with my help at first and then by themselves, because it is all about you self-actualizing, stepping into your power, owning what you want and making it happen, to feel secure in that, to feel empowered in that, and to know that that's the right thing to do, that you're not doing anything wrong. But at this point, I guess most of all, you just need to take my word and know that it is possible for you too. So I would love for you to take this to the next step. Have a look at Outgrow Codependency, the course, which I'm going to offer to you at a special discounted price, just so you can have a head start with everything. If you're already in therapy, you can take that to your therapist and help them guide you, because you've identified what was wrong. I was in therapy for over 20 years and no one had ever mentioned anything like this to me. And so I had to kind of do it by myself, figure it out. But I don't want you to have to waste all this time, take all that time. You can make that new beginning happen now. So I hope you say yes to yourself, choose yourself, and then let the magic unfold.